which is okay, except when you're a child. It's very difficult. So you find things to do, and I used to find anything to do. And on this particular day, I found an old handbag, an old leather handbag in a cupboard, and it belonged to my grandmother. Of course, it had died many years before. And I started looking through this just to see what was there, what was interesting. And I found lots of letters, and in particular I found letters from somebody called John Allen. And John Allen was actually my father's brother, a bit older than my father, and he was one of these people that I knew about in my life, but didn't know. Nobody really said a lot about him, nobody spoke about it a lot, because when he was 17 years old and the Second World War broke out, he volunteered for the army, and he lied about his age, and he went away and he joined the army. And he was serving with the Highland Regiment in a place called St. Valery in France. My grandmother, I know, wrote to the armed forces to say, look, he is underage, but by this time they didn't respond and he went off in service. And I discovered from the family that he was killed just a few days before his 18th birthday in a place called St. Valery en Cour in France. And it's a very difficult period of history for young men in the Highlands and Islands, because that particular regiment was very much drawn from the Highlands. And so I had this kind of strange feeling about somebody I really wished that I had known. Because I thought about his life. He left Skye, the Isle of Skye. He'd never been off Skye. He'd never been anywhere else. And actually, it would have been a big adventure. It would have been a really big adventure for him. And one of the letters I read, I kind of liked it, and it gave me a little insight into not war and all its horror, but just a little bit about him. He was writing to his mother, remember, and he was saying that he and his friend, whose name was Mackenzie, he said, we're having great fun with the French girls. And he said in this line I really liked, he said, Mackenzie is playing the pipes, and they're all going mad. They're all going crazy. So that was a kind of an insight into his passion. But then I read an article in a magazine called the London Illustrated News, written by a man who lived in a house in Skye. He was a doctor on a plane, and he was walking through his garden, and he was looking at the blooms in his garden, the rhododendrons that were in full bloom. And he was remarking on the fact that the boy who worked for him in the garden was no longer alive. And I suddenly realized that the garden boy, was my uncle, John Allen. And he also spoke about a man who passed his home every morning with a very dark mood and a very dark feeling around him with his heavy horses. And this was my grandfather. So I kind of had a feeling about this time, and I wrote this song dedicated to John Allen posthumously, and I called it The Garden Boy.
Let me near fountain side, from those who waited long for only sorrow. And all the truth could make us see that waves that want to follow. 'Cause you are still the garden boy in St. Mary's broken hollow. Now still your garden grows on the home farm's wooded road, where the heavy horses started out their day, led by the man once proud. He spares your distant shroud. Your young heart was the reason for his labors. And oh, that truth could make me see all the waste that was to follow. 'Cause you are still the garden boy in St. Mary's broken hollow. And oh, that truth could make us see all the ways that was to follow. 'Cause you are still the garden boy in St.